Hello, how are you? Now we're going to tackle problem number 36, which is called Find Relatively Common Elements in Matrix Rows. So, the first thing that you will think about this problem is that it's very similar to another one, which is the problem number 67, which we have already made. And let's see how it's so similar. The statement says, you want to find all elements that exist in greater than 50% of the rows in the matrix. For example, on this example here, which is basically the same as the other one, you need to give this condition. The only difference with the previous one is that on problem number 67, they were asking you to find all the elements that exist in every row. Right now we are looking now for elements that exist in greater than 50% of the rows, so it's a big of a difference because of the conditions. All the rest of the statement is the same as the previous one. So what we need to do right now is just modify the code. Since we already have a code made for problem number 67, now we are going to modify it. As you can see, I already made a modification here, and let's show how it works. So yeah, we already made the code. It was quite hard in my opinion. Let me show the length of the code. And yeah, it seems quite intimidating, but it's not that hard actually, because we work with the previous code that was already made, that was for the problem number 67. And yeah, we just made some modifications for the problem number 36. On this case, I needed to add a 2 on this function because we cannot have two functions with the same name on MATLAB. But yeah, nothing of the other world. Some difference maybe like when you take the vector A, you first take all the values. So let me show. You need to take all the values and not only the first row of the matrix. And then what I need to do is erase the repeating values. That's why I just copy and paste this part of the code at the start and just change so it works for the A vector. So instead of having J, I just change it to A, and also some of the elements, instead of trigger 2, I call it trigger A. Instead of counter while, I call it counter while A. Instead of clock, clock A. Instead of counter 2, counter A. You could put any name here. I just decided to put it like this. Yeah, I just made the same code. Some very small modifications so it can work now for the vector A, and we are good to go. Another change that we can see here is that here I started with a counter equals to 1, and here is counter equals to 0. Yeah, if we remember, counter 1 was because we already take the first values of the first row, and on this problem it wasn't a necessity to check for the first row. On this problem though, yeah, we need to check for all the rows, and that's why I needed to start from counter equals to 0. The sign is basically the same. I guess there is not much difference with this. And then another condition that is interesting is that instead of being counter equals to all of the rows, so it's equal to the number of rows of the matrix, we just need to be bigger than the half, because that's the condition of the problem. If that's the case, you create or you add another element to your vector tree. Is gonna be your answer. The rest is the same. We already made this code here. Seems a bit big, a bit intimidating, but it's not that hard to make it. This is just to erase repeating values because they are asking us to do this. Yeah, some little modifications. You just need to realize where the modifications are need to be done, and we're good to go. In this case, let me show the final answer. and this case is minus 2 and 3. As we can see, let me show also like the original matrix. Mhm. And we can see that the original matrix is this one, and the answers are these two. And that's true because minus 2 and minus 2 appear on more than 50% of the rows, and that's also the case for 3. As we can see here, it have passed all the tests, and we can maybe take any vector here and show how can this works. So another example here, we have x, and we can see that only 3 appears as the element that exists in more than 50% of the rows, and that's why the answer is this one. So that's exactly what you want to see. The rest is just code, yeah, things behind the curtain. We can also try other examples and oops, and see how this interacts. And yeah, interesting one. Maybe we can check it. Um, and yeah, let's take another one to end the video. We can see that this works exactly as intended. That's everything for now. Thank you guys for your attention, and yeah, if you are willing to attack another type of code, you can ask it. I don't have any problem, and yeah, have a good day.